A very good evening, students. Welcome all to Code India Code, day one. So we'll just start in 5 more minutes. Let everyone join, and then I can see a lot of people in YouTube live as well, and few joined in Zoom. So yeah, let's wait for everyone, and we'll start in 5 more minutes.
Good evening, everyone. So, good evening and welcome to the Code India Code Camp. I hope you all are excited to be here and learn something more about coding. So, we would understand that what is the power of coding and how during these sessions you will see some of the opportunities to code at a level where you can actually create some real life applications or at least relate to those real life applications. By the time everybody else is joining, if I may ask you to put in the chat window, how is your experience with coding? What, according to you, is coding? And if you have coded earlier, what was the language that you used? If you have coded in past, what all languages you are comfortable with? Okay. So I got people saying HTML. Anybody else, if you have done coding earlier? Coding is instruction given to computer. Agreed. You learned Scratch, Kashyap. That's good. Anybody else? What did you learn and how was your experience? Somebody rightly mentioned coding is the language used to give instructions to the computer. Completely agreed. Riddhi, thank you for coming onto the camera. It feels nice as if you are dealing with human beings. Else it looks as if you are talking to a black screen, right? So thank you for turning on your camera. You are in which grade? Can you type in the chat window? You looks too young. Thank you, Pranjali. And that's nice virtual background that you are using. So participants, if you can type your classes, from which class you are starting in. So that will be nice for me to have an understanding. And if you have done coding earlier, which platform did you use? 11th, Riya, good. 7th. So we have people from the range 11th, Veda, fine. 10th, okay. 6th, understood. Great. And if you people have done coding, other than Scratch, is there any other language that you did? Did you do app and web development through some platform? HTML, right? So I got 2 responses, HTML and Scratch. Any other platform? Python. Okay, Python, HTML, that's great. Did anybody do MIT App Inventor? App Dev, right? Which platform did you use? C++. For app development, which platform did you use? Okay. Okay, so let's start it from here. So what is the objective of this 4 days camp? So we are trying to give you a perspective that how the world of coding has emerged, what are the different opportunities available for everyone to be able to code. So there was a point of time that coding languages were such that it was the prerogative of only a few intellectual people. So it demanded a kind of specific logical abilities. But nowadays, the platforms have become so much easy. We have block-based programming languages like Scratch, Tinker, code.org, which can actually make anyone to code. So anyone can just drag and drops the blocks and then do coding. So coding is a way of giving instruction to the computer. Earlier, why was it tedious? Because we had those text-based scripting language, and where we would give command to computers to do something. And if you would not know the syntax, right, syntax of the command, the computer may not perform. So some of you have done HTML and some of you have done Python. You would understand that in HTML, you have a greater than and less than sign. And if you type every tag inside those greater than and less than symbols. So if you put an opening bracket, but if you don't put a closing bracket, your web page may not show certain components properly, right? So that will be your error. Similarly, in Python, if you don't follow the indentation, if you don't put the colon in the right place, if you don't put the closing bracket to every opening bracket, so it is very, very syntax driven. So when the languages are syntax driven, at times everybody may not feel comfortable while working on it. But with invention of these block-based programming languages, you have the just drag and drop facility. Like in Scratch, you have ready-made blocks, you just drag them, put your code together. So what you need to do in that case, you need to think sequentially and logically. For example, if I want to make a calculator, so I know that there is an add button available. I know there is a minus button available. There is a plus button, but I have to think logically. If I want to make a calculator, what should be my flow? So my flow should be, I need to take 2 inputs from the user, 2 numbers and 1 operator. And then I would apply that operator to those numbers, and then my result would come. So I would make a sequential flow in my mind that my first step is, what is the input that I need to solve this problem? So in a calculator scenario, the inputs are 2 values that you would want to perform operations on. And the operations that you can perform is plus, minus, multiply, divide, power, like divide A by B and get the remainder. So you have those kind of operations possible. So you have to think that in a line, that what is my outcome and how would I achieve it in a step-by-step manner. And then you can just drag and drop the right buttons and you would be able to code. So is there anyone who has used MIT App Inventor for app development? Anybody? Can you say a yes in the chat window if you have done MIT App Inventor? Okay. Bhuvnesh says yes. Anybody else? Have you used App Inventor software, MIT App Inventor? Previous year, okay. Pranjali has done. Okay. So I'm going to show you a glimpse of an app, which is like an Alexa app, but I have tried to make it a calculator based Alexa, right? So an Alexa which can perform calculation for me. So I call it my voice calculator bot, which would follow my instruction. So I'm just sharing my screen and showing you that, the glimpse of that. So since it's an awareness camp, maybe I will not be able to teach you step by step. So if somebody is very new to MIT App Inventor, so I may not get this opportunity to teach you MIT App Inventor step by step. But what I can do is I can show you the power of MIT App Inventor and power of coding. So the idea of this camp is to bring what are the possibilities. But if you want to learn to create those possibilities, maybe you have to join a longer course, which is like this year's summer camp, curiosity camp. You can join again, and this year you can learn new things. Those who joined last year can further understand this. So this is an app, and when I run this app, so if you want to scan the, if in case you have emulator, so you can scan and check. I am just opening, and I am opening it, scanning it on my mobile, and I'll show you if you can see me through camera. So I'll show you through my phone screen. So this is, let it build up. So the app has come up over here. Now it's asking me to, I'm pressing the speak button, and it says start recording. What is 23 times 5? So it says, what is 23 times 5? The question is being repeated, and the answer would come in the bottom area, which is coming. Now I'm just repeating again. So I'm just showing once again. I'll scan this QR code. I'm just scanning it once again and showing. So I have connected it with the code. Now I'm saying speak. Now I'm saying, what is the product of 5 and 2? So my question is coming here, what is the product of? So my voice is getting converted into text, and then if I press the result button, I'll get the response also. So this is a bot. This is a calculator bot. I have presently made only the multiply function for it. So if I show you the code blocks, so basically if you have to develop this app and you were to code this, you have to first think, what do you need? So if we want to give it a bot like image, so I have taken a robo image with plus minus multiply divide images to show it synonym to calculator. So first of all, we need to have a speak button, because like we give instruction to Alexa, please turn on the lights, right? We say like that. So what we are speaking, our bot should be able to comprehend it, understand it, and comprehend it. So that's why when we are clicking on speak, so it is listening to us, and then when it's listening to us, it is converting. So it was showing here what I heard when I run it on my mobile. So our instruction, what it is listening when we are speaking, that is coming as the question, and then it is understanding that question and bringing the response. Now, if you see what I have used an image, I've used this speak button, I've used this label. Here the result area is coming. So there is a text box here. This is again a label. Bhargav, you better buy a drawing book and do the drawing there. Don't annotate on my screen, bacha. So I'll just stop any annotation for others. Okay, so if you see this app, so nobody, when you code, actually, you don't just directly jump into coding. You first understand what problem are you trying to solve. So we code for solving a problem. That could be automation of a stock system, developing an inventory, making a calculator, making an Alexa to perform something, right? So when you code, you want some machine or a program to do something against the instructions that you give. So when you wanted to perform something, you need some input. What input would you give? What is the output, means what it would perform, and what is the logic that goes inside between input to output, means you have given input, what process should happen that you get the desired output. And that part is called your coding part, which takes care of what input goes, how the input would be processed, and what output are you going to get. So here in MIT App Inventor, you have this designer part, which helps you to design the screen. So we do the designing as front end here. And then we make some code blocks, which is in the backend, which help us to understand, write the code, what should happen. So I have written here some code about when speak button is pressed, then it is calling the speech recognizer and getting the text recorded. So when the speech recognizer has performed its function, it has got what the user was saying, then we are doing some coding and taking out how it is going to interpret our question, and then whatever result we have calculated, it is going to speak that result. Right now, for example, this particular question, this particular code is being designed to just perform multiplication. So if the people will say these words, say for example, what is 23 into 25, what is 23 multiplied by 5, or what is the product of 23 and 5, what is 5 times 23, so it will perform the multiplication operation only. But if the people ask other questions, like they ask, how are you, can you tell me this, how are they doing, so I have written these kind of, so if in the question there is nothing related to multiply, but there are words like you, me, they, then there will be a message like, please ask me questions related to multiply only. So I have done my coding like that. So this portion which you are seeing, this is called actually coding, right? Uttam, you can put your question in the chat box, what you are trying to ask. I'll just see the chat window. So what is the point that I'm trying to make here is, I am saying that the word of coding is very extensive. We can, make simple code to complex code, but the fundamentals remain same. So what are those fundamentals? The fundamentals are, coding is a language in which we can instruct to the computer. We can give instructions to the computer. The person, those who code are called coders. We have the opportunity to code in multiple programming languages. Some programming languages are text-based, like Python. You have to type every little thing, right? Some programming languages, C, C++, Java, Python, they all are text script-based languages. HTML also script-based language. You have JavaScript also. But some of the languages are, they have code blocks, which are ready-made programming blocks. You can just drag them, like in MIT, there were blocks, Scratch. Some of you have done Scratch, and Scratch also, you have code blocks. So we can just drag drop our blocks and we can do the coding part. So it's not difficult to code, but whenever you are doing the coding, what you need to do is you need to understand. I think we need to remove some people from the meeting. They are disturbing the. Okay. So let me just again share my screen and show you something more exciting. So I'm just opening the home screen of MIT App Inventor and showing you something. For those of you who are new to this platform, MIT App Inventor is a software for app development by MIT University. The URL is this, appinventor.mit.edu. When you come here, the first thing is you have to sign in using a email ID. So like I have already signed in, I'm coming out from the main page and showing you. So for example, you have this option here, create apps. I'm putting the URL in the chat window for you to log in if you want to try with me. I would request Swati or Sushmita to put it, because in screen sharing mode, I'm not able to see the chat window. If you can do that.
Yes, I have kept the link on.
Okay, so then you go to create apps. And after hitting the create apps option, it will ask you to log in through an email ID. Just 1 minute, students. My system is little lagging. Okay. So it's mitappinventor.mit.edu. You click on create apps and then you sign in, log in using a Gmail ID. So I'm signing in with my account. So once you do that, you have this option called Start New Project. You give your project a name. Let's say I'm giving it a name as demo or test project. So I'll just write it as test project. And then I say, okay. Right? So just to give you a simple concept, in real life, you have these, in your mobile apps, you do screen lock. So those locks have the passcodes or your retina scan or your finger scan. Those are also some basic apps. Somebody has done coding for that and they are being put up as default apps in your mobiles. Now, suppose you were to make an app that opens phone with the correct password, then how would you do that? So let's say I want people to put the passcode. So I want to give a label. So there is a label. If you drag the label and you see its text, so the text, there is a text property. So if you see my screen on the left side, we have user interface options. And on the right hand side, we have property of every object. So I have dragged the label here and it says text for label 1. And here I'm just saying enter passcode. So for example, if you want people to put the passcode to open the phone, so I'm just writing to open the phone. I have done that. It's coming over here. If I want, I can increase its font size also. So we have the option of increasing the font size and changing its color also. So suppose this is, I have written enter the code. I can make it bold. I can make it italics. If I wish, I can change its color also. So, and if you wish to put it on a background, you can put the background color also. Now you want people to put in the password here. So you must have seen with the passcode, you would put it in numbers or alphabets, but you would get to see stars or dots on the screen. So for that, here we have password text box. I'll drag it here, not the normal box, it's the password one. If you want this box to come in the center of the screen, you can align it. So this is password text box. If you want to change its properties, so here are some properties. If you want to control its height and width, suppose I want to control its width and I want it to fill parent means fill the mobile screen. So I can have it here. Now I have to do now some coding. Now what would be my coding? When the app would run, the person would be asked to enter the passcode. And if the passcode is correct, then the mobile should open. Now, let's say my mobile is on, that is the second screen that should open. So let me add another screen. So I say add screen and I name it as screen 2. So I've added one more screen, that is screen 2. It will be just added. This is screen 2. Now on screen 2, I just want to say that welcome user, just to give you that idea that we have reached to another screen. So I'm putting a label here again. So I'll drag this label and I'll say its text as welcome user. Now suppose I want to make its font size as 30 or whatever, and I can control its width and I can bring it here. And I can always change its background color and font color if I wish. So default font color is this, but I am changing it to this one. Now I want the person to come to screen 2 only if the passcode is correct. So the first part that I have done is called UI UX designing. So you have designing your user interface, the first part of the screen. Now, if the password is correct, then we want the screen to be, next screen to be open. So for that, we need to do the coding. So how would we do the coding? We would go to the blocks part and we would start to code. So what are we going to do? We are going to take it from here. So what have we made? This password.txt box, right? So when it should check your password. So on your home screen, you should have had a submit button. So when the password is submitted, then we need to check whether the password is right or not. So we would make a button and we would name it as submit. So I'll go and change the text of it as submit. And then I would change its text color if I wish to, and font color. and I want this button to be little wider, and I want person to click this button after filling in the passcode. And when the button is pressed, then we want to check whether it is the correct password or not. Now I'm going to go to blocks to do the coding, and I'm going to code this button. So when this button is clicked, so when this button 1 is clicked, what do I want to do? I want to see what is the text inside this password box. So as soon as I select this password text box 1, so it has some properties. Now let's try to guess. So it has numbers only, password visible, password.txt. So this is of use for us, because whatever you would put in this text box, that would go into this block, password.txt. So, and we want to match it with something. Let's say password is hero@123. Now we want to check if the text inside this box is hero@123, then screen 2 should open, which is actually our phone. Otherwise, it should not open. So I want to control this situation. So I'll go to a control block, and I would use if else. So I would say if the password is correct, then the next screen should open. But what if the password is incorrect? I want to give a message, password is incorrect, sorry. So I'll take a if then block, and I'll say if my value in this is equals to hero@123, which I am saying is my password. So I'll go to a text block, and I would take out this block, and here I would write hero@123. Now I wish to match these two. So in order to match these two, I need an operator. So I would find my operators in logic. So I would drag out this one, and I say if this portion is equals to this portion, then it means my password is correct. So if this is equals to this, then I want to open my next screen, else I do not wish to open. So I go to my screen, I want to call another screen. So how would I call another screen? I have here more components. So I have here call screen component. So there are many options, and I have here call option also. It says open another screen. So if this is correct, I want to open another screen with the name screen 2. And if this is incorrect, I wish to display a message. So I want to display a message on the screen. Sorry, your password is incorrect. So what I can do is I'm going back to my screen. Where would I display that message? So I'm taking a label here, and I'm keeping it below. And presently, I'm not making it visible. I'm keeping it visible as false. But I'm making it size as 20, so that when it is shown in a big manner. And this is my error message label. So I'm renaming it as error message. And then I'm saying, okay. I come back to my blocks, and I say, else what I want to do, I want to show that error message block. So I go to my error message, and I am saying here set error message dot text to. First of all, what label, that label should display. So I'm saying here, oops, incorrect password. So we are writing here, oops, incorrect password. And then we would want it to show that message, because our password text box, this label, error message label, is hidden. So its visible is false. So we want to make it visible to true. So I'm saying set this to set error message dot visible to, and we want to make it true. So we'll go to logic block, and we would say true. Right? Now, those of you who have mobile phone with you, you can download the emulator app from Play Store or App Store, and you can see the output on the emulator, or AI companion is also an app. You can download even the AI companion. So you can check when you run the AI companion, you can actually scan the QR code that comes on screen and can get the code running on your phone. So I am presently scanning it with my phone, the QR code. So I'm just saying, so I'll just say AI companion. You can even have a phone connected from your laptop through a USB cable, or you can have an emulator which runs on screen. Now see, this is my screen. Here I am getting the message, enter the passcode to open. I'm getting the text box area. If suppose I enter the password hero@123, so I'm putting it as hero@123, and I'm saying enter, submit. So, okay, maybe I made a typing mistake. So it says, oops, incorrect password. I'll just retype it once again. So it is H capital. So I'll take H capital, E, R, O, now see, my second screen is open. Once my password was correct, welcome screen is open. Now imagine it as if you and me on our mobile phones, when we get this, in our mobile phones, have you observed people have put passcode to open the screen, home screen? So when you open your phone, it asks you enter the passcode. When your parents put pin in the phone, you enter that to open the phone lock. So somebody must have made that app. Just now I made a similar app for you. I showed you how you can make. So in the MIT App Inventor, so this is coding. So you are, what are you doing? You are solving a problem of security for phone. My password was hero@123 with H capital. Should I show the QR code once again on the screen? Would you like to scan? Okay, let me just show you. So this is those of you who want the, I'll just refresh, reset and redo the QR code. This is the QR code. So you can download the companion app. This is the code. You can take a screen code shot. So see, once you scan it properly, the app would run on your phone. You can enter and then you can check how it would work. So for app is not on my phone, but just by scanning the QR code, I'm able to check its output. So there are 3 ways to check the output. Either there is an app called AI Starter. You download that and you will get the emulator running. Then your phone screen would be made here in the right corner. You can check the output on your screen itself. Or you take a USB cable, connect your phone to laptop and check the output of this on your phone. And third is AI companion app. So you can download the app and then you can, once you click on AI companion, it will show you a QR code. You can scan that through the app and the app will get transferred to your mobile. So there are 3 ways to check the output. Now, what you design as the front end means the main screen that goes to the designer block, and what you code that goes in the blocks part of it. So this is actually coding. This is designing. This is designing of UI UX, how your interface would look. So in real life, when you have people, those who code, so the software development team, everybody need not to know coding, right? So everybody need not to be an expert at coding. Somebody would do the front end. Front end means this screen, the UI UX, how this text should look, what should be the size of button, what should be the color theme, what should be the background of app. Presently there is no background, right? So for example, if I wanted a background for this app, so on my screen one, let's say I wanted an image as the app background. So I could have taken the background image or the background color. So for example, if I wanted everybody to come on this background, So I could change the color and look and feel. So the people, those who design the front part of it, they need not to know the coding, right? Because there's a different team. They should be good at designing sense. Their designing aesthetics should be good. Kaun sa font acha lagega? What should be the size of the font? What should be the color code? Whether italics would look better or without italics. So this team which works on the front end is called as your UI UX designer. And the people, those who have to actually do coding, that is, they are called the backend coders. So wo piche se they code it and they see that whatever input is coming, that is validated, and whatever output was desired, the proper output should come. So here the output is, if the password is correct, then the another screen would open. And if the password is incorrect, then the error message would come. So this part is called as coding, and the people, those who would do this will be called coders. And but as I said that in a real life software development industry, you have people with different roles. Everybody is not a coder. Somebody is just who would work for hardware maintenance. Somebody who would work on just AI aspect of an app. Somebody would be joining a team as a testing and debugging manager, so would test the app on various inputs, and if there are errors, they will fix the error. So the person would be only responsible for making the app error free. So he would do the quality control and testing and debugging. There will be somebody who would just do the coding, but how the things are coming on the screen, their look and feel, will be taken care by another team. So there is a whole team that develops a complete application. It's not only the responsibility of a coder to do everything, right? So those who are good with coding, they do the backend programming and all the coding. Those who are good with designing, like I said, that somebody else can be designing the screen, somebody else can be writing the backend code. I hope this much is clear with everyone. Is it making sense? Are you able to understand? So I have some people, those who have never done coding, but they were very good at art. They were graphic designers. So they did courses like Photoshop. So they did courses like, Adobe Illustrator. So designing part of it. And then they are also a part of software development team, but they never code. They just maintain the aesthetics or look and feel of the product. And there are people, those who are good with maths and logic. They go in for coding in Python. They go in for coding in Java. And then they code how in the backend the things will be. When user enter wrong password, then what should happen? If user enter correct password, then what should happen? So they take care of all those coding things. I hope I'm making it clear. Is everybody getting this? Right? Nowadays, there is another important perspective which is coming into coding, that is AI, artificial intelligence, right? So a lot of things, in the coding has to do with AI. So you have to make sure that whatever products you are bringing in, when you are coding, you make them, make your code artificially intelligent, so that your code can be your code, the algorithm should be such that which modify itself from user experiences. Let me just give you one example. Somebody who must have coded this one. So do you play rock, paper, scissor? Do you people play rock, paper, scissor? So there is this game called rock, paper, scissor, right? So this is by Affinity. So the URL is, let me just put it in the chat window. I stop sharing. I would request somebody to put it. My chat window is not getting accessed somehow. So I'll share the screen if somebody can paste the link for others. It's affinity.com. So this is rock, paper, scissor. Now this is something who has done the code. The AI is learning from my experience. So for example, if I first say that I want stone, so AI has also got stone, one tie. Now, let me just try scissors now. Okay, this is giving hand. Okay. Just, it is becoming a little slow on my PC. Some glitch. Now, see, I took out stone, it took out scissors. I'm again taking out stone. Because AI know that I have a tendency to repeat. So when I took out stone, it also, now this is 1 and 1. Let me take this. So I again win. Now you read the description here. It is analyzing each and every move of mine And it says that as a computer, I'm trying to predict your moves based on your history, because you're likely to repeat yourself. So what I did, I 2 times did rock twice, and then I 2 times this hand one after the other. So it is tracing my actions, right? And based on, it is not following a fixed algorithm. So there is no fixed algorithm. Because agar fixed algorithm hota, so if I take out stone, it is taking out scissor. Now second time, if I'm taking out stone, it is taking out hand. Now if I'm again taking out stone, it is taking out scissor, right? So there is no fixed algorithm. These are all random moves. And why they are random moves? Still computer is making an effort to win. This is called reinforced AI. So the code is self-correcting itself based on user's experience. And it is giving the explanation here that because you people are likely to repeat yourself, you can't be random. There has to be some logic with which people play game. So the hand you play after playing scissors and losing will not be your random choice for rock, paper, scissor. So it is saying that I am learning from playing with you. So आप जब किसी AI के साथ कोई computer game खेलते हो, you may win for the first time, second time, but if you play with an AI for 2 hours, 3 hours, it will improve its coding based on how you played. So this is reinforced AI. So it is learning from its own mistakes and modifying the code in the backend, and every time trying to improve itself. So this kind of code is not a static code. With AI coming in, AI has the kind of algorithms which based on experience, machine learning, it improves the quality of the code. So nowadays there are new experiences that people earlier would do some coding and it would last for years. But now we need to make such kind of algorithm so that our code is also dynamic, right? It improves its quality, it improves its results with the invention of AI coming into coding. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Because if there will be a fixed code, if computer will lose 10 games, it will keep losing. If it will win, it will keep winning. But there are situations based on how we play with it. Same with Ludo and same with playing, any other game with computers. So it is improving its code based on the user's interaction with it. So there is a concept which has a huge role to play in this, that is called machine learning. So like we learn and we improve ourselves, machines also learn and improve themselves. So nowadays the coding is getting more relevant because you have to code computer in such a way that they are able to improve their performance, right? Using big data, so imagine, say for example, in a jewelry expo, people were given entry only if they had a specific kind of card, right? So they have a gate pass. The people, those who were invited for the jewelry expo, can only go in because robbers may also go. It's a jewelry expo and there are huge, very expensive diamonds. So the expo was only invite basis. Only selected people can go in the expo. So what they did at the security gate, they have deployed a computer, right? So you go, you put your card below the scanner. The software would scan the card. If you have got a valid invitation card, the gate would open, you would go in. Like in a metro, if you take the metro coin, if it is a proper coin or a ticket or a card, you tap it. If it's valid, the gate opens, you can go that side. Otherwise you can't go, right? So there is a machine deployed over there. So if suppose in this kind of situation, somebody got a fake card printed, which was looking to very similar to the original card, right? So the person copied the original card and got a duplicate card printed. Now what the software is doing, software is matching this card scanned with a static one, which is with the original, and seeing if the two images matches, it is opening the gate. So gate has some sensor, it would open if the two cards are matching, right? That coding is being done over there. Now, some people, those who were very smart, what they did, they got a duplicate card printed like the original one, and some thefts enter inside the expo, right? So it means the person who did coding did not make smart provision like putting QR codes on the card, which cannot be replicated on a duplicated card. Right? You can make a similar looking card, but if there would have been a chip on the card, or if there would have been a QR code, or if there would have been a barcode on the invitation, then if somebody will make a duplicate, they can't duplicate the chip, they can't duplicate the QR code, they can't duplicate the barcode. So that coding would have been smarter, because if you scan it, if it would have been a duplicate card, the computer will give prompt, it's a fake card, right? And the gate would not open. So in that scenario, the machine is learning. So first time when somebody code, they analyze that, oh, this problem can come. People can be smart enough and our code can be defeated. So next time they coded it better. They coded it with more better schemes so that nobody can crack their system, right? So with real life experiences that comes to your program, the quality of code has to improve. Understood? And all these are called validations. What do we call these? We call this as validations. We call these phases as testing and debugging. So when people code, they actually validate how relevant this code is. Will it work on fake inputs, or will it catch the wrong errors? Will it catch the wrong inputs? So all these phases are called testing and debugging of your code. Clear? Is this clear to everyone? Right? Now, coming to this mobile app development part, which I was showing you on the MIT App Inventor, can you tell me an app which opens on phone but not on computer? Can you tell me an app which opens on phone but not on computer? Do you know an app? Play Store. Okay. Play Store doesn't open on desktop. It opens on Android phones only, right? Right? Are you trying to say that? Give me the name of an app. No, WhatsApp open on desktop also. You have a desktop version of web version. Web version of WhatsApp is there, and your mobile version of WhatsApp is there. So what I'm trying to say, let me just put it this way. So there are three kind of application. So let me just open Word document. So you attend classes on Zoom, right? Some of you attend on Google Meet, some of you attend on Teams. So we have some of the apps which work only on mobile phones. We have some of the apps which would open on your mobile, and we have some of the apps which would open on a desktop also. So for example, if I have to open Teams, so I have a Teams app here. This is desktop app, so it would open Teams. If I have to open web app, I'll open a browser and I'll go here and I'll press a plus tab and I'll say teams.microsoft.com. So I have a web app of Teams, I have a desktop app of Teams, and I also have a mobile app of Teams, right? So there are three kind of apps which are available. So when people do coding, so there are three kind of apps which are possible. That is mobile apps. Then you have desktop apps. And then you have web apps, which open using internet. So web app ke liye, you need to have internet connection for sure, because they would open on the web browser. So when you code and develop application, at times we can be specific to platform. We can say that this is a code, this is an app that I have developed only for mobile apps. Or I may say this is just a desktop application. Or I may say this is a web app. On the other hand, I can have apps which can be multi-platform, right? So this can be a multi-platform app also. So it opens on many platforms. It opens on mobile, it opens on desktop, it opens on web app. If I say I have developed only a mobile app, consider a situation. I'm saying I have just developed a mobile app. Do all the mobile phones have same size? My question is, do all mobile screens are of same size? Do we have tab size phones? Do all the mobile screens are of same size? That's what my question is. So definitely not, because we have tablets, we have large screens, we have small screens. So even if you pick up an iPhone, if you take iPhone XR or if you take iPhone 13 Pro, so you would see the huge difference in the screen size, right? So if suppose I make an app for a small screen app, when the app opens on the bigger phone, do you see some blank space or you see the app opening normally? कभी ऐसा होता है कि किसी ने छोटी स्क्रीन के लिए ऐप बनाया और किसी ने उसको टैबलेट पे खोल दिया, तो ऐप सिर्फ छोटे से में आ रहा है एंड लेफ्ट एंड राइट एंड टॉप एंड बॉटम देयर आर जस्ट व्हाइट एंड ब्लैक स्पेस. Does it happen or app fits onto the screen? So if the app fits onto the screen according to the size of the device, it is called as responsive app. So what is a responsive app? Which is responsive to the device. So if I open it on a Chrome tab, it would fit it over there. If I open it on a mobile phone, it will adjust its size like that. If I open it on my desktop, then also it will adjust size according to that. So the applications which adjust its look and feel according to the device on which you open, they are called as responsive applications, right? So why I'm telling you all these things, it's not just about dragging, dropping few blocks and start to code. So when you start to code, you have to think of various perspectives. Application that I'm going to develop will be for what all devices, will be for what all kind of users. Say, for example, you are making an app for people to order something. Imagine you are working on some website like Flipkart or Amazon, right? If it doesn't have an option to change language, and if it only displays product and buttons and everything in English, do you think normal man, those who don't understand English, will be able to shop? But if you have options to convert into Hindi or translate the entire site into, let's say, Tamil or Bangla or Punjabi, anything, then you will be able to cater to a larger audience, because everybody would like to come to your website and shop because they will be able to understand the options given over there, isn't it? So when we code, as a good coder, we need to see all these accessibility features also, that how we can increase the outreach of our application to many users. How can we bring in the translate facility into that? How can we allow people to give voice commands? How can we make their life easier? Many people are not comfortable with typing. So how can we allow them to just see? Alexa has made our life so much easier. Siri has made our life, we don't have to type so much. We'll say, hey, or even for that matter, Google Assistant, we'll say, hey, Google, what is the temperature outside? Hey, Google, can you tell me what is the capital of India? Hey, Google, can you tell me why people are saying Third World War is going to come? Google will hear and answer you. You don't have to type every little thing. Same way you can say, hey, Alexa, can you switch off the lights? Hey, Alexa, can you play this song for me? Hey, Alexa, can you tell me a bedtime story? So it makes our life so much easier. We don't have to type every little thing. Even people can change the language of Alexa to Hindi also. So Alexa can even understand Hindi, right? So it's a smart AI. So that's why when people code and when people make smart applications, they think of interface. The interface has to be very good. Interface with which the user interact with the computer. So interface has to be very appealing, very eye-catchy. Say why people like WhatsApp. There's so many messengers that have come. Telegram has come, Kaizala is there. So many people have not even heard of these names. Why they are not popular and why WhatsApp is so much popular? Because of ease of access. It is such an application which is so easy to use, right? Is it not very easy to use? WhatsApp, everybody can use. Can everybody use? Even if you are in grade 1, mama papa tells bachcho ki we are going out. Agar you need anything, go to WhatsApp and go to mama, just press the button and say, mama, come back home. Send a voice message. It's as easy as that, right? So though, since the interface is very easy, that's why that's a popular app. So when you want to code, you have to take care of many things. The interface has to be user-friendly. The ease of use should be there. People should be able to communicate in their own languages, means the translation facilities have to be there. Even the ability to give voice commands should be there. So I'll just show you one more example. So there is a browser. I don't know whether you know it or not. There is a browser which is called Edge browser. That's by Microsoft. So if you see this Edge browser, so I'm just writing here, Microsoft Edge. So I use it day in, day out to teach to my students and for various things. Now, suppose I open this browser, Microsoft Edge, and on this browser, I open any website. So I have opened already, and I'm typing a topic, photosynthesis, let's say. So I'm just opening this website, which is this first website by Byju's. And instead of Google Chrome, I've opened it on Edge. Now I go to this immersive reader mode. So there is an icon like a book over here. So I go to immersive reader mode. First of all, my website looks clean. There are no ads. So it is being coded like that. When you go to immersive reader mode, the website looks clean. There are no ads. So if I want to read from Byju's website, if I'm not in immersive reader mode, the website is very distracting. I see ads here. So I may be tempted to go to this. I may be tempted to go to Akash Coaching and see what they're doing. I have opened the website to study photosynthesis, but there are a lot many distractions. So I see some ads and links, so I can better go to immersive reader mode and there'll be no ads. Now, the best part is you have your read aloud feature. So even the site
Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which phototrophs convert light energy into chemical energy, which is later used to fuel cellular activities.
Now, suppose, let's say, I know that my teacher make me read one paragraph. So many teachers make read paragraphs to children in the class. And I know that my pronunciation is bad. And at times, people laugh at me when I wrongly pronounced a word. Or at times you have a test, but you have headache. You don't want to look at the book, but you have soft copy of the book. Even if you don't have soft copy, you can scan and open a PDF by the Edge browser. It opens a PDF also. So you just use this feature. So your AI would read it for you.
Activities. The chemical energy is stored in the form of sugars.
Right. So you don't have to take the pain of reading. Second, you have voice options. So you have voice option. You can change it to Indian voice, fast voice, slow voice, British voice. So you have many options here. So I can increase, decrease the speed. I can make another Indian AI to speak for me. So I can control these options. I also have other options. So these are voice options. I'll just come out of this and show you once. Let me just close this application. Yeah, so here you have some grammar tools also. So for example, if you want on this pages, it's an English lesson and you want adjectives to be highlighted with some color. So you have the option to just show adjectives. You have the option to show verbs. You have the options to show nouns and you have the options to show adverbs. So you can actually highlight the parts of grammar. You can focus, you can use picture dictionary also. So if suppose this is your grammar preference and I want to show that, just give me 1 minute. This screen is getting a little lagging. Let me open it once again. I'll just close this extra application. Maybe then it will be normal. Okay. Now, just 1 minute. Now, suppose you have this reading preferences and you have this picture dictionary on, right? So suppose you want to see what is the meaning of light. So you take it here and picture dictionary will explain you. For example, you have this fuel. So you take your mouse pointer to a process. So picture dictionary will explain you for the words. It is very good for some English, say for example, sunlight. So it shows you like this. So you can actually use picture dictionary over here. You can translate this entire page to the language that you would like to. So there are a variety of languages. Let me try showing you converting it into Hindi. So if you want to translate this page into Hindi, so see it's translating it over there, right? So what do you say? These things looks interesting. So these are also the, nowadays people, when they develop application, accessibility is a huge feature that they need to look into to make things interesting. If you want to focus, suppose you are explaining somebody and people are watching here and there and you want to keep the line focus on, you want to say, just focus on this line and read only these 3 lines or read only these 2 lines, read only this 1 line. So you can use line focus at a time. So you can use translation features, you can use read aloud features, you can even have text preferences. For example, if yellow background is looking little irritating, you can change your background colors and you can decide what looks soothing to your eyes to read. So these are called accessibility features, which are very, very interesting. Now, this is the power of coding. If you want to, do coding at such a level where you want to make your applications which are user friendly, which brings in voice commands, which brings in text to speech, which brings in translation features, you can do all of that. You can even do all of that in MIT App Inventor. But this is a camp where we are trying to bring awareness. If you want to learn how to do all these possibilities, so there is a curiosity summer camp, which is a little longer, 18 hours camp, not like this boot camp, which is just for 3 or 4 hours. There you would be taught everything in detail, like how to make these possibilities happen, right? If you want to make a Alexa-like bot, which take voice command and do, so you can join always the summer camp and learn more about machine learning, AR, VR, artificial intelligence, app designing. So that will be taught during the camp, right? In these 3-4 days, I will show you what are the possibilities in the world of coding and how can we achieve some of those things. But if you want to start from very basic and go deep into that and want to learn each and everything, how you can make all those things, yes, you can make your own APK in the App Inventor. There is a build option. You can do that better. So you will have to do a long-term course. So Swati ma'am has given the link in the chat window for the summer curiosity camp. If you wish to learn these things more in detail, you can join the camp. And the people, those who have joined Code India this camp, they will be given a special discount to join that camp by using a code which ma'am has given. So if you will use that code, you will get a special discount for the summer camp, right? So this camp is free beta for 4 days, but the summer camp has some cost, but you can avail some discount because you have joined this camp. So there is a discount code which is given, and the website link is also given. Also, at the end of the 4th day of this camp, you will be given an assignment. Once you'll complete that assignment, you will be given your participation certificate. So you will be given 24 hours to complete the assignment, which will be given on the last day of the camp. And if you complete that assignment successfully, submit it on the form link. So everything about assessment will be told in the last class. So if you complete and submit it properly, you will get the certificate for Code India Code Camp, right? Am I clear? So I hope you enjoyed today's class and learned certain aspects of coding. And tomorrow I'll see you again and I'll show you some more exciting things, right? Thank you. Good evening and have a great day. You can generate APK of your app. Yes, you can. I'm just showing you from my screen. Just see it. So I hope my screen is shared. Just 1 minute. So if you are making your own app, you have this option of building APK. So you can build your own APK. So once the APK file is built, you can transfer it to your mobile and then you can actually have the app in your mobile. But if you want an app built by you is available to the whole world, then you have to take it to App Store or Play Store, for which you have to get your app published on these platforms. For that, there is a formality. You have to fill the registration form. You have to pay some fees. So suppose I'm making an interesting game. Let's say I have made a game, Fortune Teller, and that's an app. So I fill up a form with Google and I'll say that this Fortune Teller is an app and I want to launch it on Play Store. So maybe I have to give some fees for my app to be hosted on Play Store, and then it will be hosted over there. And then everybody can play it. Then I can do publicity at my level that I have made this app. Please go and download it from Play Store or App Store and you can enjoy playing it. So this will complete building. The moment it is 100%, you can download the APK and you can use it, right? So Swati, there is a question related to the camp detail. I think if you can address that related to some date and all. Yes, I'm using Windows 11. So, okay, children, I'll see you tomorrow. If you have any doubt related to the camp, you check the link today. You can ask tomorrow. So somebody from Super Teacher team will clear your doubts related to registrations, right? Okay, thank you everyone. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Beta.